This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Joe Cordina here in London. Joe, it's good to see you. Wasn't expecting to bump into you. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Andy. I'm not too bad, bro. I'm just cruising the block, and I thought I'd pass through.
Christian Block, obviously here at Matchroom Press Conference. Before we come on to yourself, that main event on Saturday, I'm interested to get your thoughts. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen. How does it unfold?
Looking forward to it. I'll be honest. It's a fan-friendly fight, and yeah, I hope it's as good, if not better, than the first one.
What advice would you give to somebody like Johnny who hasn't got that stellar amateur career that you had, but he's got that immense pressure on his shoulders to succeed and to come through somebody like a Dave Allen in flying colours?
The one thing is you got to believe in himself. I know the first fight he would have been, but that fight is going to put a little bit dent in his confidence. But he's got to go out there and literally fight with that confidence. And I know it's hard to some, but he's got to be mentally strong. But he's going to have all the confidence in the world, Dave. So he's going to have to make sure he hits him with clean shots, not waste anything, because in the last fight he wasted a lot on the gloves, on the arms, and just make sure it counts.
Joe, obviously onto yourself. The last time I saw you was after Conor's fight with Eubank Jr. at Spurs. Since then, any developments? Where are you at in terms of when you'll next be out?
Well, I'm going to have a chat with Eddie now and see what the crack is. So, yeah, fingers crossed he got something for me. I'd like to have a little. I've been out the ring a long time. Unless it's a massive fight, I'd like to warm up, get back out the ring, dust the cobwebs off, and then jump into a big fight. I want to be involved in them big fights. I've achieved everything in the sport. I just want to be involved in a big fight. And if I can get a big fight, I definitely want to put that wrong right, the Cacace fight. So. Yeah, I want to have that opportunity. I'd give him the opportunity. I'd love to have the opportunity to put that right.
Just one on catching up with Eddie. You're going to do it in a short while, but obviously over this past, say, like year to 18 months, there's been a few things said back and forth. What's that relationship like now, or do you both understand business-wise you can do good things together?
Yeah, business-wise, surely. But the thing, I think there was people in the middle that that was not giving the right information, and then it was taken, misconstrued, and yeah. And then that's where sometimes I'm one of these geezers that just get my back up straight away. And obviously Eddie's in the firing line. But yeah, I've had a chat with Eddie prior to this, and yeah, I think we could do good business together, I believe. And listen, there's that gap in Wales, and it's not I believe, I know. I can go outdoors in Cardiff for sure, whether it's Cardiff Castle, whether it's Cardiff Arms Park. You've come down and seen it, and we can do that. We done the motor point there 5,000-6,000. The first time I only had 3 weeks because the fight was almost off and I didn't realise. But we done that in 3-4 weeks. Then the second one we sold that out, so I know I can go outdoors. I'm getting stopped every single day. When you fighting, and people say to me all the time, don't you get tired of this? And I normally say no, but it's starting to get tiring because I'm saying the same thing every single time. Do you understand? So I know I can go outdoors, but I just need to get back in the ring and then put me in a big fight. Get me a Shakur, get me a Cacace, get me a Tank, get me this one, get me that one. I don't care. I just get me the big fights, because I've achieved everything there is to achieve in the sport. I just want them big fights, the fights that people are going to remember you for, win, lose or draw. Carl Zaghi, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Ricky Hatton, Mayweather, Pacquiao. You had, who else? Carl Froch, Kessler, Andre Ward. You have Khan, Canelo, Danny Garcia. They're the big names that I want them sort of fights.
Let's obviously bring in what could be next, or what you would like to be next, or certainly one fight after the next one. You mentioned Anthony Cacace stopped Lee Wood this past weekend, a campmate of yours. What did you make of Cacace's performance, his victory, and what weaknesses do you see in Cacace now?
Listen, the same weaknesses I seen before. Take them 2 shots, he hit me on a break. I believe he wouldn't have beat me. He wouldn't have, I don't think it would have been close either. But listen, it's played out the way it's played out, and unfortunately for me, I come on the wrong end of it. But I just hope I have the chance to put that right. Because like I said, I give him the chance to fight, any opportunity. like he came in the changing rooms after and said, oh, listen, we'll do it again, and I said at lightweight, he said no problem. So I'd like for him to stick to his word and give me the opportunity.
Do you think he'd come up to lightweight as he's talking about the O'Shaquie Foster fight, for example?
Yeah, of course. If he's going that route, O'Shaquie Foster, he crack on. He go and unify. I'd like to see him do that. But if not, and he comes up to lightweight, give me the opportunity.
I know for a while, Joe, you've mentioned a certain Shakur Stevenson. But one thing I'm interested to get your thoughts on social media, I'm sure you've watched on Insta, him and Conor Benn have had a few exchanges, and Shakur saying he would go up to 154 and fight Conor Benn next after Zepeda. I just want to get your take on that.
No, he's full of shit.
I would be very surprised if it was to happen, but just seeing that.
He's full of shit. Like, he's a very good fighter, technically good fighter, but then when he gets... Well, we see what he's like against other fighters when they're throwing digs at him at his weight. He's on his bike. I can only imagine what he'd be like if Conor Benn is him. He's obviously he sees gaps in Conor, but yeah, Conor's a big boy. Conor's a big boy, and he hits hard as well. Little 8-ounce gloves, yeah. Don't be so silly.
What do you make of his fight with William Zepeda?
Very good fight. It's either going to be an exciting fight or it's going to be a bore fest. Either or. It's not going to be like a touch and go. If Shakur gets on his bike, it might be a bore fest, but that's boxing. He's going to hit and not be hit. And to the purists, that's going to be an unbelievable performance. But to the fighters that rate him as pound for pound one of the best fighters on the planet, it's going to probably dampen him what he's doing. Like I believe he's one of the best fighters on the planet, but no one really likes to watch him. But Zepeda comes to fight, and he might have to sometimes dig down and bite down on his gum shield and dig his toes in. But we'll soon see. But yeah.
Just a couple of things I want to quickly get your thoughts on before we wrap this up. Alexander Usyk, Usyk-Dubois, their rematch, Joe. Just get your take on that, please.
Very good fight. Do you know what? I keep going back and forth. Daniel's obviously on a great run. He's got his confidence, but at the same time, Usyk is unbelievable, isn't he? Great fighter, and he's one of the best fighters on the planet, and he's been like that since I've seen him in the amateurs. So yeah, very good fighter.
And just last one from me, I spoke to Ricky Hatton about this. The Manny Pacquiao return reported versus Mario Barrios 4 or 5 years out of the ring. What do you make of it?
Well, it just shows you how corrupt boxing is, isn't it? Jumping straight into number 5 in the WBC. So yeah, imagine the people that are before him or like 1, 2, and 3 and 4 waiting for their shot, and he jumped straight in for a world title. But listen, I'm a massive fan of Pacquiao, so really I couldn't give a monkeys. But if I was in his weight and then that happened, I would be absolutely livid.
Joe, listen, I appreciate your time. Thanks for speaking to me. I hope you have a news and an announcement soon.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.